Hey everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and today I have returned to the Bricks and Minifigs store in Portland, Oregon, and I am with Nate. We're going to be looking at some of the coolest and rarest sets that they have available here at the store today. There's some fantastic stuff here, but the inventory is always changing at the store, so this is what's available right now. When you come in next time, there might be even other cool stuff as well. Always neat stuff coming through the door. We're going to start with a few from kind of the mid to late 90s here. This actually represents some of my all-time favorite Lego themes. I love this stuff. So what is this first one that we have here?
This is a Pharaohs Forbidden Ruins. So yeah, it's got some fun, lots of fun artwork on it, fun minifigures. There's a few, if I can remember them all, little
play features. Yeah.
Little play features where there's a little trap door that drops you down and then you get axed, I think. You
gotta survive all that.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of fun play features and just kind of, fun
details and minifigs in here.
Exactly, yeah.
And of course, yeah, you got like a hot air balloon with this net technique.
Early hot air
cool.
balloon, yeah. Not quite the Friends version of today, but still pretty neat.
One of the things I loved about this is not only was there kind of, going on the adventures, but you also had like the camera here as well. So it was like they were documenting the whole thing, which was always a really neat idea to me growing up as well.
Yeah. And I think there's probably push some button somewhere to make a skeleton come out, or probably it starts this way and then you push a button and
flip it around.
Treasure comes out, yeah. I don't even remember all. There's a bunch of different stuff. These felt like the old ones had nice little play features like that a lot, where they were pretty basic or simple, but it was kind of neat.
And of course, the graphics on these with all of the like hieroglyphics and kind of the Egyptian imagery were always super cool. Even like a little obelisk here. That stuff is always. I still love all of those pieces today. And you've got all of the different villains here. That's fantastic.
And one little hint, I always say, anytime you find a Lego treasure chest, always shake it or open it up, because there's almost always something inside. So every time we get them in on trades or like in bulk, I always like shake them to make sure there's almost always something in there. It's a treasure chest.
How often do you get sets in from a theme like Adventures, Johnny Thunder type stuff?
Not all that often. I feel like we probably have one or so at any given time, but it's not, they're definitely not that common. We have a couple, I think over there we have a couple like of the tiny ones new in the box, which are just kind of fun to have on display. But we have, the older ones are hard to get in. It's kind of neat when we do have them in, mostly for us to look at them and play with them.
Exactly.
and just have them on display. Because this is like my era of Lego. So it's great. But yeah, not often enough.
We can keep moving down then. The next couple are in the kind of pirate imperial theme. Another one of my all-time favorite themes. What is this ship that we have here?
So yeah, this is the Redbeard Runner.
And you can
see
the
old, classic pirates.
I love the playability with the cannons that slide open, and then you can flip this. You can flip this up here. I don't want to break anything.
That's it.
So there you go. You got to, and then you can fire the cannon through there. That's fantastic. And yeah, lots of playability kind of inside the ship.
I should have practiced this earlier, because I think one of these, this like falls off the back and the mast moves, but I don't want to break it now. But there is some, and there's a little
like side panels that open, and there are always lots of fun play features.
These guys open up,
Of course, you could pick up the cargo and lower it with the ropes and the hooks there. And then we've recently seen the re-emergence of this with the Lego House exclusive set with the Captain Redbeard there. So kind of coming back into the limelight once again.
The functional compass is always, always nice too. Let's see if it holds true again here. See?
Oh!
Even more in this
Always shake the treasure chest. But yeah, the sliding cannon thing was always so cool to me because of the way it kind of shows a realistic cannon effect with the kickback from firing it. So
and this one has all the original sails and strings and stuff. So it's a lot, especially with the pirate ships, a hard thing is to find them with sails that aren't, I don't know, old and stained or just even there. So it's always fun when we get them in and they're in good shape.
Moving down the line, staying in that similar theme here, we've got one of the fantastic kind of raised base plate sets. So you've got this big raised base plate. You don't see that very often these days.
Yeah, this is the Pirates Perilous Pitfall.
Some nice alliteration going on there.
So another kind of fun one that has a few play features. I know there's this drawbridge can get pulled up with that string. There's this, I think it's supposed to be like a giant boulder. If someone's climbing up here to get stuff, they get...
Oh, a little bit of an Indiana Jones type of thing.
Exactly. So that's what I was saying with that other one. They're like pretty basic, play features, like just pulls down one piece that makes it roll, but it's kind of fun to have a few different things in there moving. And yeah, this one has all the nice gold crown in there that they're trying to get to.
These sets made heavy use of the burps or the big ugly rock pieces here throughout, so they would use that to kind of just fill in large spaces and really add a lot of that texture without going super parts intensive. Because you can see there, I don't know the exact piece count on this, but it's mostly the base plate. You get these large rock pieces. There really isn't a whole lot of piece count in this set.
Otherwise,
But you get the nice little kind of Palisade Fort. I always loved these palm trees, the way you could do the trunks. There's so much posability there. Yeah. It's always fantastic.
And the kind of iconic Lego parrot also there.
And then the chrome armor that you get on sort of the conquistador type figure is super cool. Any chrome pieces, we'll actually see some more in a second here, are always amazing. I love those. And then this kind of recreates the wrecked ship kind of effect there as well. They incorporated it into their island. But this is another unique one. Just, like you said, it kind of captures a fantastic era from the 90s here with all of these different themes that I know a lot of us grew up playing with from our childhood. So it's super cool. And as we move down, we go into a very different genre here. Not too much later, though. I think this was maybe the year 2000, right about then that this set came out?
I think right around 2000, that this came out, the Millennium Falcon. And it much different than some of the current versions in a few different ways. But it has this kind of...
large UFO piece, kind of shell on it, kind of like a turtle shell.
And obviously just much less detail and everything, but pretty neat still. And some classic Star Wars minifigs.
Right, the yellow minifigs, of course. So Star Wars did yellow minifigs for the first few years before they went into...
Before they switched over, So it's it's always fun to see the yellow ones in good shape.
And then I think there's some of this flips up here at least.
Oh yeah.
So you've got some of that playability.
Spots,
But you can just see kind of the amount of exposed studs, and it just feels very kind of blocky compared to a lot of what we've gotten, especially after getting like the UCS versions and just seeing like how incredible the Millennium Falcon can look.
Right.
These early ones. But hey, they were trying, and Star Wars still did a lot for Lego, and obviously brought in a lot of new fans and a lot of money to the company at a time when they needed it in the early 2000s.
Indeed,
so
for sure.
This kind of captures a unique era. This along with things like Jackstone and stuff. A lot of that crazy stuff they were doing in the early 2000s. It just kind of captures a different era for Lego as they were trying to survive and become what they've done today.
Right.
So that's very cool. We're sticking with Star Wars coming down next. So I mentioned we'd see more chrome, and there is a ton of amazing chrome pieces here. Again, a set with a not very high piece count here, correct?
Yeah, I think it's 187 or in that range, 187 pieces, which is by far the smallest UCS set for Star Wars. I think most of the other ones have at least 500 or 600, and many of them have considerably more. So at under 200, this is a tiny little set, but a lot of neat pieces. Obviously, the chrome silver is most notable, but some of the windshields have some printing on them and stuff, and it's really neat.
Are those chrome pieces? Do you find those coming into the store very often? Is that stuff kind of hard to find in good shape?
Yes, very hard, and you can even see some of these on here aren't in perfect condition. It's almost impossible to find these pieces used in kind of new, or like new condition, just by nature of the pieces. But all these were pieces, all the chrome ones anyway, were pieces that came in through bulk that people sold us, and we just collected them over time and finally had enough to kind of put it together.
There you go. And then going into a very different theme next to that, but one of my favorite sets, just kind of the story behind and the history of it, this is the Blacksmith Shop, which was designed by Dan Siskind, who viewers of Beyond the Brick will be very familiar with due to his many interviews about his very large military models, because after Dan Siskin designed this model, he of course founded Brickmania and still runs Brickmania today. But before all of that, he worked with Lego. This was actually, if I'm not mistaken, the first ever fan-designed model that Lego sold. So before we had Kuso and Ideas and all of that stuff, Dan Siskin worked with Lego in right about the year 2000, 2001 to design this Blacksmith Shop here. And you can see the interior there. You've got the couple of minifigures with that kind of bronze bugle type trumpet look there as well. And it's just always been crazy to me that Dan designed this model and then went on to do Brickmania and everything that he's done with Brickmania since then. But a great little set here, obviously kind of outshone now by the new Blacksmith Shop, which is just an incredible set and has so much playability to it.
Yeah, this one's fun though, especially in that kind of classic sense. It's got that playability. It opens up. It has a decent amount of detail given when it was created and how big it is. And it just has kind of the fun minifigures.
And if we flip it around here, you can see, I think you got like these green shutters. I know those were used in some like Western sets and some different sets from the era.
Yeah.
The windows open up. So they try to add some little detail and color. Oh, I just noticed, there's a treasure chest up in the roof here.
Uh-oh. Test my theory. Uh-oh. Yeah, that one's empty.
Oh no, that was just like hidden away in the attic.
But still, 2 for 3 is not
bad. Right,
I
exactly.
think that still makes it worth checking on.
So this is fantastic, and there's such a cool variety of sets here. That's something that always blows me away with the Bricks Minifig stores. Is just kind of the variety of older and new sets that you have available here. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is kind of what's available now, but I'm sure this is kind of always changing. You're always getting different stuff in. Absolutely,
yeah. That's maybe one of the best parts about this job is that just seeing all the different sets that come in, from whether it's new releases, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till someone brings that in on trade so I can check it out, or this kind of classic stuff that a lot of these I've never seen before, and they'll come in and it's the first time I've ever seen it, either all together or just in this good of condition. So it's kind of neat to see the history. Obviously, Lego has an incredible history, and it's kind of fun to see a lot of it kind of come through the store on trades and then leave to someone else's collection and become part of it. So yeah.
I also wanted to mention for people who saw our store tour from last year where we visited the store, you're always kind of updating and changing things in the store. There's like new mocks on display. As we said, there's always more products coming in. So no matter when you were here last, there's probably something new and different and interesting going on, and it's always worth coming in and checking out whatever you got going on in the store here.
Absolutely. Again, yeah, it's another really fun feature of the store is that everything is constantly changing. The minifigure inventory, the sets. So it's fun to have, you come in one week, we might not have it, but you come the next week and we do. And stuff's totally different. We're also trying to we're doing some workshops and trying to kind of just find other ways to engage people from the community. So we're kind of always expanding not only what we have as far as products, but what else we offer and what else we do.
Fantastic. Before we finish out the video, we've got a couple other models that we're going to show you. We're going to bring in a different expert, though, to take us through those. So you can see that we've totally switched themes now into some of the Bionicle offerings at the store here. This is not a theme that we talk a lot about, so we've got one of the experts at the store. If you want to introduce yourself and then tell us what we've got lined up in front of us.
Hey, my name's Jay. I'm the resident, I guess I run the Bionicle department here. Bionicle fans know that these parts are pretty much extinct now, so I painstakingly go through all of the bulk, pull out as much as I can, not only to reconstitute the sets, but to give people who might have missed out on Bionicle. A lot of these kids, they're on YouTube, they see you guys, they see other creators, and they want to play with Bionicle, but it was over before they were even born. So my big mission here is just to make this experience accessible for as many people as possible who might have missed out on Bionicle.
I love that. So starting down here on this end, why don't you kind of take us through each of these models, maybe talk about some of the rarer parts and what makes these difficult to kind of get together.
Right, this one, his name's Makuta Icarax, Toys R Us exclusive from 2008. Bionicle is infamous for releasing all of these like very obscure, hard to find sets. So every time they did like a Walmart exclusive, Toys R Us exclusive, those sets are extremely hard to part together because they have all these unique elements. And a lot of times the mechanics, like the sockets and things like that, don't survive the test of time. So these are very hard to put together, but Bionicle fans will know there is like a supreme feeling of satisfaction you get when you have it all koshered up. And the highlight here is just the most needlessly complicated weapon ever.
See all those gears.
Yeah, all those gears that basically are all not really doing anything, but that's part of the fun.
So what are some of the specific parts then that are difficult with like this model in particular to find, and maybe when people bring those parts into the store, do they tend to be cracked, or what are some of the issues there?
Well, every Bionicle line had a gimmick. So before Ninjago, before all this stuff where Lego's doing like a media mix, right, where it's a toy line supported by characters, supported by video games and movies, Bionicle was the blueprint for that. So all the gimmicks are always different. This one had these guys, shadow leeches. They're like little rubberized critters with like a Technic axle in the back. A lot of these did not survive past 2008.
Those look perfect for chewing on.
Yes, exactly. And just hearing some of, like you guys talk about Lego history, the guy who designed all these Bionicles, my favorite Lego designer, a guy named Christian Faber, who got to start doing, there were these Technic sets called Cyber Slam. I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah.
So those evolved into something called Slizers Throwbots with the discs, and that's how we get Bionicle. And I think reviving those play patterns of like colored heroes and all their little gimmicks and stuff is one of my main missions here, because I couldn't imagine a childhood without it.
There you go, I love it. Well, we can keep moving down then.
Cool.
This next guy looks very imposing with his weapon here.
These two very famous Bionicle sets. This is Brutaka and this is Axon. So when we were all making our own original Bionicle characters way back in the day, these two are what we were all trying to copy, because these are kind of known as like the gold standard of Bionicle sets.
Quite literally.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Again, a lot of these elements unique, like these pieces here in gold. Even the finish, like the color of gold for all these little eyes and stuff, very specific to the characters, which is part of the reason why we love Bionicle. But yeah, there's some, these parts here, also unique.
Big axe blades.
Big axe blades, things like that. I also love the dichotomy between the two, because you got one little short, stocky guy, red and silver, and then you got the big gold and blue guy, nice and, you know, imposing and slender. So I think as a pair, these are beautiful to me.
And what years are we kind of talking about?
So this is
here?
around 2006.
Okay, gotcha.
Bionicle had a pretty, like around a 10-year run, and then it got canceled, and then it came back. But there is a little bit of renewed interest now, because they just did the gift with purchase Bionicle set. So a lot of us were stoked in the Bionicle world to get our hands on that one. And not only that, but Bionicle fans are so hungry for more Bionicle that the gift with purchase set that's just made out of system parts, is kind of an homage to Bionicle, has become an entire niche of redoing
kind of spawning
Bionicle
its
sets.
own.
Into that style.
Yeah.
So that's all over Rebrickable and Instagram and stuff. There's rumors that Bionicle may come back, but whether or not that's true, Bionicle is alive here at Bricks and Minifigs
There we
Portland.
go. I love it. So then what's this final one here?
Yes. This is one of my favorite Bionicle sets ever made. 2004, I believe. This is TOA Lee Khan and the Kikanalo, and we all love these guys because these were in Bionicle, the movie 2. And yeah, this is kind of like
Look
when
at
it
that.
starts to evolve from like these geared mechanisms into like a proper action figure. So one of the coolest things that we loved about these as kids is that the weapons all had some interesting gimmicks. So this guy in the lore, his mask can produce like force fields and shields. So his swords can combine into just like a big shield. We always thought that was super cool when we were young. And what's not to like about like this kangaroo / Tyrannosaurus Rex type creature?
It's got the big like horn on.
It's got the big horn and stuff, and just Bionicle's so goofy. It's like when we were little kids, we were playing with these like Polynesian robots, you know. But shouts out to Lego for putting that culture on a stage where kids could interact and have fun with it.
So this is fantastic. Thanks for kind of giving us that background on that. And like you said, you know, this theme still has a lot of fans out there, and it's great to see it represented here at the store. So if people are interested in picking up, you know, these, or do you guys sell just the Bionicle parts in kind of bulk at all? I know I've seen that at some of the stores. Is that available?
Yeah, we do. We have Bionicle bulk, and then the masks are kind of like minifigs at this point. So all the masks are different values and of rarity and stuff like that. Our whole thing here is these sets take quite a bit of time to reconstitute because the parts are so rare. So part of what I was talking about making Bionicle accessible is instead of recreating these and making that our focus is to disseminate them into the hands of kids who want to play with them. So we have a Bionicle workshop we do every other Sunday where kids come in, it's just a Bionicle buffet. And we get families coming in building Bionicle sets. And it's really been a lot of fun. And it's really been a privilege to be able to give Bionicle a stage here in our town.
That's awesome. Well, very cool. Thank you so much for taking us through all of these sets. And you know, as we mentioned earlier, all of this stuff is available in the store. So many unique offerings here. So if you're ever in the Portland area, make sure you come in and check out the Bricks Minifigs store. We'll have a link to the website and some social media links in the description of the video as well. So you can follow them online and keep up to date with everything going on at the store. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.